This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into this. This is interesting. So, T.I. and Fat Joe had a long conversation on, Fat Joe does his thing on his Instagram during the CV thing, and T.I. was obviously one of the guests. T.I.'s been in a hot one this week, okay? So now in this conversation, he really doubles down on the whole doing the commercial thing, the tipster commercial. He said he was putting together an artillery from because his security team was, telling him to load up. He had a secret room in his house. He would usually get stuff in boxes. Meanwhile, he's not supposed to have possession of any weapons, right? Due to his past record. So he's talking about this. Then he's like, I had a secret, thumbprint. And one time I went to go pick up some artillery, and the guy had set me up. He gave me a bunch of stuff that wasn't in boxes. I didn't really take possession of it. It was a weak case, and that's how I beat it. And I got such a reduced sentence. Hey, it is what it is. But the way he's trying to defend it so hard, and it's not a clear-cut thing, it's like, yeah, this is weird, bro. Like, why are you going so hard with this? I can't believe this never came up as a problem until now. He never really defended it until now. Not when Shorty Low and all of them were putting stuff up, but I don't know. Anyways, moving on from that. Then he talked about, he had a big chip on his shoulder about New York. He's like, I love New York artists, but they try to play us in the South. And they never give us our credit. Dude, you got your credit. People in New York got it harder than anybody. People in the South make a lot of money, okay? Way more money than New York artists. Because South supports South. He was saying New York supports New York. No, they don't. It's the exact opposite. And that's what Fat Joe wanted to say. It's the exact opposite. You got to work harder in New York. And you got to be more lyrical, or especially around the time he's talking, around the early 2000s. Because it was more competitive. The South was running it because it was a little easier. T.I. was one of the ones that he annihilated everybody. He was one of the very few that could really spit. Him, 3-6 Mafia, and I'm not going to be able to name everybody. Scarface, obviously, Bun B and Pimp C, UGK, Ludacris, Jeezy had somebody, it was more a T.I. Who else? Of course, Outkast, and I'm missing so many. Pastor Troy is pretty dope. Just so many. It's like, okay, so South got their respect, okay? And they actually took the game over because they support each other so much around 2004 and 5, 6, and so on. And he said he won't battle he wants to battle 50 Cent or Jeezy because that's the caliber he thinks he's on. And he also feels like he's on a Lil Wayne caliber. Okay, but I think Lil Wayne's more the king of the South because he's straight dominated for so long. T.I. claims king of the South. He's up there. He's one of the top, okay? But he said he won't battle Jeezy or Gucci because he's beyond that. He said, let them battle it out for trap music. They're never going to battle, bro. Second of all, you say you invented trap music and you're the king of trap music. Then his argument against 50 Cent also is 50 Cent's first album was a classic. But T.I.'s first album was trash. Let's be honest, okay? His first album was called what was his first album called? It wasn't the one with 24s on it. Let me get you the right thing. I'm Serious. That album was trash, man. If you listen to that right now, it was it didn't really hit. People didn't really like it. But I don't know what happened. The same year, he released another album called 2003. He dropped Trap Music. That was hot. It wasn't a classic, but I would say it was a down south classic. I would say 8 of the songs out of 16 were half of the album was super hot. The rest of it was good. He can spit. His classics started around Urban Legend the next year, 2004. Then 2006, he dropped King. That's a classic. It took him a little longer to get to a classic, which is better because 50 came right out the door with a classic, and it's hard to keep up with a classic. T.I. built up to a classic. Then he came out with, what did he come out with after that? Then he came out with T.I. versus T.I.P. That's arguably close to another classic. Paper Trails, pretty classic. Then his demise happens. No Mercy comes out, it's decent. Trouble Man, these are ones that have like good records on them, but they're not classics. Classics different, okay? They're just great albums. T.I. has a lot of great albums. His catalog is amazing, okay? He has a great catalog. Can it compete with Lil Wayne's catalog? That's hard. Lil Wayne has too many songs. He has way too many songs, way too many features. This versus battle thing is weak anyways, okay? Why would you want to battle 50 Cent? Why would you want to battle 50 Cent? It's just not that interesting to me. They're going to talk. 50 Cent, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to see him in one of these versus battles. T.I. is better off doing like Jeezy. Or, Jay-Z might be fun, but still Jay-Z's got better records. I'm going to be honest. They're just more timeless, T.I. is definitely... T.I. and Ludacris would have probably been a better matchup. I'm gonna be honest. T.I.'s special though, man. As much as he talks crazy to me, he's a special artist. He's always been one of my favorites. He's always hungry to deliver more. It seems like he lost his hunger around 2012-13 for music, which is understandable because he was doing movies and a bunch of other stuff, television. But I'm just saying, he gave us a great decade of music, for sure. Anyways, what do you guys think about all this? I mean, I'm gonna link the whole thing with Fat Joe below. He had a big problem in New York, like a chip on his shoulder. Like, New York doesn't give me my credit. He kept going off on that. I was like, yo, dude, people give you your credit, bro. Nobody's debating it. It's not hard. It's not easier in New York. He's acting like, oh, it's easier in New York. It's harder in New York, bro. That's why they say if you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. It's more difficult to make it in New York. Yeah, it's harder to get a record deal outside of New York. But being an artist in New York, he even dissed Mims. He said, yo, what's up with that guy Mims? Yo, if he was from the Midwest, nobody would ever heard that record. Yes, they would. They would have heard it more, actually. It probably would have been even bigger than it was. He said if 50 Cent was from the Midwest, he wouldn't have been as big. But everything with 50 had to do with his story and who was backing him. Eminem and Dr. Dre. Couldn't lose. And he had the album. He had the hot records. Gotta have hot records, man. Nothing beats a hot record. Anyways, T.I., I don't know what's going on with him, but he has a lot to prove all of a sudden. And he's proven everything already. We all believe it. We all like T.I. Musically, we like T.I. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Let me know what you guys think.